So now, over the title sequence, it'll just be just us shuffling around. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Boys Gone Wild. We've got a very special guest, Eryn Tett, one of my favourite people and comedians on the circuit. She looks like me in another universe. I think that's probably why. It does seem like you seem a little bit like my sleep paralysis demon, to be honest.
Just a reflection of yourself.
Yeah, I think that's probably why I like you,
Eryn. Slightly better. This is what you could be.
Yeah, or what's at the end of my bed telling me what I could be, I feel.
Yeah.
In the middle of the night. But thank you very much for coming on. But how are you doing, Eryn?
I'm okay.
Because you've recently moved, me and Eryn know each other from the London comedy circuit, but recently you've moved up to Manchester.
Yeah, I have, yeah.
Are you from London or Manchester?
No, I'm from Singapore.
Yep.
So neither of those.
Well,
yeah.
I look a fool, don't I?
Throw that in. But yeah, it was the pandemic.
Yeah.
Happened, and there were no opportunities, and I was still paying the same amount of rent. So it was like,
it's crazy
why
cheap
am
up
I
there.
Here? Yeah.
It's crazy cheap up there. We worked out we could almost buy a house in like Blackpool.
Yeah,
with the rent we have, income we have. But
I have a conservatory.
That's insane.
And
that's
I
just
pay
a bit too
over
far,
£100
though,
less. Well,
that's decadent.
That's the thing. It feels excessive, and then I'm like, I'm paying normal. So much less money for this.
Yeah.
Do you find your conservatory gets too hot in the summer? I'm here to ask the big questions.
We won't know.
Like windowless rooms in the summer, guys. Are they good? Yeah, it's good. It's good up there.
But it must be. Do you find it? It feels like London's a bit of like an abusive boyfriend. So it must feel like. Do you feel sometimes as part of you?
I can't escape.
Yeah,
I'm still down here. I like. There's no reason for me to be. Yeah, I'm constantly coming down to.
But do you think it's left you with you even saying this seems excessive? It's probably you've been left with the idea of what you're owed.
You don't deserve this.
You deserve to live in a cupboard, and it's like
piece of shit. I don't deserve this. Yeah, I think it is that. I'm like, I don't deserve to be able to go into a different room at another time of day.
It is true. I guess I grew up in London, so I feel a bit more attached to it, but
you grew up in London for like 3 years.
12 years.
You really over-exaggerates this. You try to be the London
12
kid.
years.
Yeah, 0 to 12.
I'm half London, half country. I'm a mixed race. I'm from a dual heritage.
That's how it works, yeah.
I'm a dual heritage. Very diverse. That's what my show's going to be about, actually. It's how my mum was
duality
from
of
Sussex
identity,
and my dad's from London. So how do I manage to?
Do you find that brings up a lot of problems for you in life? Yeah,
it does. How do you meld those two?
Sussex and London.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you meld 45 minutes on the train?
But it's a lot of light-hearted. It's not just the serious stuff. It's a lot of light-hearted. Sure. Observations like the foibles of the little cultural differences, you know.
Such as, can we hear some of the materials? Or
in Sussex.
How often do you wear wellies in London?
Never.
Yeah,
that's another one.
I guess why they're not muddy.
Exactly. So that's just off the top of my head. I haven't done a lot of writing on it. But
I'm pretty sure that show already exists. I hate to throw it out, but. Yes, some people don't get past this stage of making fun of it. They just go straight for it. And they're like, I'm going to make this.
It's on the cards.
Are you mostly performing in Manchester then, or are you still drudging down to London?
I'm still
drudging down to London.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, because it's a thing.
I was out of London last week. Yeah.
You brag about Manchester, but it does seem like you're down here a lot.
Yeah.
And you're crashing on people's sofas to stay in London. So I guess it's the pros and cons.
Yeah. Yeah, you just can't escape London. It is
a black hole.
The main event of the whole of England.
Is Manchester like the second biggest scene?
I would say.
You would say so. Yeah, is that?
I would say.
You have a conservatory.
You would say.
I would say loads of things. This is one of the things that I would say.
You would say it.
So I'm going to go ahead and say, you know what, I'm just going to say that is something I would say.
But do you find, the Manchester-Liverpool thing I quite like, because as soon as I found out they were so close together, I'm like, okay, it's like West and East London, isn't it?
Sure.
No, it was a question. It wasn't an order.
I've been in lockdown for like 2 years basically in Manchester, so I don't really know it that well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, the first full year I didn't leave my house.
Yeah, fair enough.
So
yeah.
It's like
and
only
then the
just
pandemic
now,
happened.
Yeah, starting to like finally go out and do stuff. But yeah, it's like, yeah, you have loads of different places you can go to. So you can go to like Liverpool or Leeds or Sheffield if you wanted to.
Blackpool, is that near?
Blackpool's I would go to Blackpool.
No, it has one of those water parks where the flume goes outside the building, though.
The what goes outside the what?
Like the flume. So if you go down a flume.
You know a flume?
No.
Like a flume.
You don't know what a flume is?
You know, like a flume. She's not actually. You weren't actually born in England, so you probably don't know fully.
Actually, you know what? To bring that, you taught me a new word.
Oh yeah.
On your podcast.
What was it?
And you said it.
This could go so
many times that I was like, I'd never heard this word before. And then you
clarted?
said it so many times. Yeah. Then it was like
it must be clarted,
filled up. Like all of my past like amount that I should have had in my life in one sitting. You said it so many times. I've never
on
heard
the
that
schnoz
before.
as well.
Yeah. Has it slipped into your vernacular?
I've immediately forgot what it was. I couldn't have told you. I was gonna say just swatted or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Immediately forgot.
Because you read as English, like, so then I think a lot of these things you were probably missing, like flume.
Yeah.
Anyone who's grown up in England will know what a flume is, I'd assume.
I would argue yes.
So a flume is...
I
would.
Yeah,
I would.
It's very argumentative.
It's true. It's a problem.
Yeah, I would argue, even if they agreed with me, I would still argue.
He loves a verbal tussle. A flume is a water slide.
Okay.
But is
like
a flume
tubular.
when exactly. I think of tube.
See, there's global. There's ways to connect.
I mean, once you do that, I adapt so quickly.
But then, often in flumes, you'll get bits where the roof isn't on. So does it become a water slide then?
Oh, I see.
I said I was going to bring some philosophy.
Yeah. I didn't. So.
But do you think? But it just basically means the majority. You can have anomalies in a flume, but as a whole, it's a flume. But it's not like flume. What's like flume?
But I've been down flumes that have actually had no roof on whatsoever. It's just the twisty, the nature. I think a water slide's more.
That's probably technically a water slide, isn't it?
You know what? I don't think it is.
Do you not think?
I think a water slide, if it's just straight down, you're bombing down. There's no twists and turns. I think as soon as it twists and turns, that's a flume. But I may well be wrong.
Indoors?
I've been wrong before.
What about so at a theme park, outdoors, water park? Okay, twisty and turny, but it's all outdoors.
You're getting bogged down in unnecessary detail.
Really?
Yeah, I think straight
I think
and
we need
twisty.
more detail.
Do you think?
More detail.
Because I think a flume is being inside in my head, it's being inside a leisure centre.
So you've never been on an outdoor flume? Think about it, because you know the answers you have.
Well, I thought that probably makes it a water slide then.
Do you think?
I think it might do.
I think a water slide is just straight down. I think you go down a water slide, it's a straight, it might have some bumps. The flume twists and turns.
I guess we'll never know.
Join us next week where we'll try again to find out the answer.
We'll get an expert on who actually knows what a fucking flume is. But you grew up in Singapore, clean city, famously.
Clean, yes, very clean.
How was that for you?
We asked the real questions.
Go on.
Given me a lot to work with here.
It was
nice
clean. It was
and broad. How was it?
But how long did you live? How long did you live in Singapore?
I was born there, and I left when I was 18.
Oh shit! So you did the full stretch.
My whole full stretch.
You did the sorry, not saying
full childhood stretch.
Yeah, childhood, puberty.
Is this? What's the accent then? Do you have any accent? Not at all.
What? Who? Wait, what?
Do you have an accent from Singapore?
No, my accent is not Singaporean. I went to an international school.
It's always. I was going to say it was an international school. I know someone from an international school who lived in Singapore. Do you know Ellie Cress? Presume you don't.
Which school did they go to?
Couldn't tell you that much.
No.
It was in Singapore.
Hey, it's about taking that.
It's about just give it a stab at the dark.
I'm a big believer in taking the gambit.
Me too.
If someone says they go to uni,
shots.
like went to Bristol, if I have a friend who went to Bristol, I'll be like, "Do you know this guy? 2 years below." I'll take a big stab because if it
describe him. Don't let go. Once they say no, don't let go. Hair color, height, build. What they're interested in, their passion, their biggest fears. They'll eventually get there. And if they don't, then it's on them.
Yeah, but you might have that moment if they get there. Then it's like you've immediately built a very strong, powerful relationship.
Exactly.
But yeah, so international school. And did everyone just keep their accent or did they have that generic American accent?
Yeah, so it kind of was like you either leaned pretty like English or American. There was like one family where there was two daughters and one of them sounded really like very proper English and the other one sounded super American. And they looked exactly the same.
Why does that? Is that just different teachers or?
Yeah, I guess it's just it must just be what you pick up on. My parents are English, so I was gonna be picking up on there.
But there was a choice. You could have. There was like a.
I could have. There's videos of me from high school where I sound really fucked up.
Really, really fucked up.
Just
drunk all the time.
Just like a very confusing accent that you're like, I don't know what this is. Yeah, probably it was more American then. I remember meeting my boyfriend from the time in England, like 7 years later, whatever, and I was like, you sound really American. And I didn't know at the time, like, you just didn't sound anything different. And then
but it's not like specific American accent, which is what I find fascinating about. It's like it's like America. It's as a whole. It's just it. It's no place. It is just amalgamation of TV, I feel.
Yeah, I think everybody just comes out with those really weird, horrible accents.
Yeah.
When I'm like, gross.
Yeah.
Just pick a side.
I remember you saying about Singapore that everyone makes fun of it for being so safe, as if it's lame, and that it's like, it's quite a weird thing to make fun of, seeing as you can actually walk home late at night. Because part of me as well, when I found out how little crime rate, part of me was like, fucking, who'd want to go to Singapore?
You want a bit of drama.
Yeah, you want a little bit, but it was a good
something to look out for when you're winning.
Well, the slogan is low crime doesn't mean no crime. So
is that the
there's
official?
a little bit of crime, guys. You just got to spot it. It won't be written about in the newspapers because everything's censored. But if you look closely enough, you can see it.
We get a lot of crime outside. We get a lot of crime.
You've got crime in here.
Yeah, we do have crime. Our handyman is a fucking criminal.
It's true.
But we have like high-speed chases will go down because we see this constantly.
The chances are some crime will happen during this podcast at some point.
There's loads of crime.
It's a mental amount of crime.
Yeah. So it's a through road, so it's blocked with bollards, so you can't drive through it the car. So the amount of times there's a Hollywood escape where some rapscallion on a motorcycle,
and they're always rapscallions.
They're always. I don't know much about them. I don't want to assume, but I'm going to take a leap of faith and say they're rapscallions.
They're rapscallions.
It's very unlikely they're going to be caught and be like, this guy was not a rapscallion.
Apologies, we thought you were a rapscallion.
Definitely a rapscallion. They whiz round and then they go through the bollards and then they're chased by a police car. The police car stops. The pigs get out and be like, God damn, they start throwing the hats on the ground.
The pigs get out and they throw their hats on the ground.
And I can't help it, as is the problem with crime. Part of you roots for the criminal. Do you know what I mean? You can't help it. I don't know what they could have been doing. Some awful shit. If you
stole your stuff,
I'll be like,
no, not the popo. You go. I guess I got a new phone tomorrow.
Someone got killed in the cemetery park.
They got killed.
They got killed in the cemetery park.
With a hammer.
With a hammer.
That's actually pretty horrible.
From a grinder date gone wrong. But
we don't. We don't usually go in. That's like the really gruesome one that we often leave.
It's not as fun, is it? Will this add a bit of fun?
You rooting for the criminal on that one still?
Well, he got the hammer. It was one hole in the head, one hole in the back, so it was like a full hole throughout the whole thing. And then he got on a motorcycle and got away, and I was
cool. Then he put on his sunglasses and got on a motorcycle.
Go on, mate. Go on. But yes, a lot of crime. But in Singapore, clean, no crime. What's missing?
Crime.
Low crime, but not no crime. What else are we missing?
What else are we missing?
Yeah.
From
Singapore.
It's in the three of us. Yeah. What are we missing?
What
stops us moving there right now?
What are we missing? Well, the good stuff is got good food.
Yeah. It's got amazing food.
It's got amazing
Have you
food,
been to Singapore quickly?
No,
you haven't.
My sister has.
I haven't either, no.
I've been to the airport.
Yeah.
That's like
not Singapore, yeah.
Yeah, that's everyone stops there for a bit.
Yeah.
And they're very happy about their airport, aren't they?
Yeah.
So it sounds like I'm being really. Sounds like I'm being really salty against Singapore. They're really happy about that, aren't they? Yeah, they fucking love that
smug
shit.
Bastards.
They're a little smug though.
Oh yeah.
Come on.
Well, they just are a really new country that became really rich really quickly.
Yeah, they kind of smashed it.
So you would be pretty smug.
And they're the cleanest one in the world. So that is inherently
in the world.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, number one.
Number one.
Well,
yeah,
number one.
You're not allowed chewing gum.
Yes, I've heard that.
Yeah.
So this is the one that everybody goes.
This is the thing
that this is a bit that I think I probably told you about when people are always just like, oh, you can't have any chewing. I can never live in a place where you're not allowed chewing gum. And it's like, yeah, but you live in a place where people walk around with guns.
Yeah.
So what are you on about?
Who's that addicted to chewing gum?
Yeah, that's not a deal breaker.
How fucking lame is that? What do you mean you can live in a country?
Perfect city. What
Eat so much chewing.
What small item would be a deal breaker? So otherwise, perfect city.
Underwear.
No underwear.
No underwear.
That's a good question, actually.
I think yeah. Well, you wouldn't trust the country you're living in as well if it says.
I guess so.
You're not allowed to wear underwear here. Why?
So you're allowed trousers.
Yes, obviously.
So it's just the chafing on your balls and testicle area. No, not balls and testicles, just balls area.
Yeah, I think that would be a problem.
I think that's you normally don't smash those out the park. So
when I come so quickly in, yeah.
Yeah, normally it really makes no sense. But you actually hit that for four.
Because often I've realised the longer I think about it, the worse it is. So I just come in with whatever comes to my head nowadays.
Because that was really quick. That was
because I can't let my mind think. Otherwise, I say something stupid like a cat. It doesn't make any sense.
That's just fucking bomb.
It doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, I guess it's a twofold thing because not having underwear would be really uncomfortable. Just general. Yeah. Do
you mean like small? Because
no,
like
underwear works. Underwear completely definitely works. One item, so it could even be trousers if you want.
But it needs to be akin to chewing gum for this game.
It just has to be one thing.
One thing.
Yeah, and underwear. I guess the main thing would be chewing gum. They don't want to do it because of littering. But if they're banning underwear,
why?
Then
that makes you ask why are they banning underwear? Because it's not just about
it's not about the input.
It is, but it's just you're not allowed to wear pants. Because it's not just a question of it being uncomfortable for you on a regular basis. I wouldn't trust a government that doesn't let you wear underwear. There's something nefarious going on.
It would obviously be that somebody in charge had some kind of issue with underwear themselves.
Exactly, yeah.
And now they're like, no
more.
Yeah.
This will never happen again.
So that's how you would know there's probably some kind of dictatorship.
Yeah.
Somebody's in charge.
But for them to run the country so fairly and efficiently, but the thing with the chewing gum,
but they'd be a marvel.
The lack of chewing gum is part of the reason Singapore is so great. It's quite a clear. It's the cleanliness, and it's more of a mindset.
Maybe
we're
the lack of
take
underwear
something away to have more. So.
Lack
the
of underwear could be a bohemian kind of society, perhaps a very liberal free place.
If you're banning something, the lack of chewing gum, I think, is part of Singapore's identity as being the cleanest city in the world. Lack of underwear, this dream utopian city would have to be part of a bohemian
sex club.
Cult, but club is. I like club as well.
But then also, is that
so bit more lighthearted?
Is that so bad? What
bad?
bohemian sex club?
Yeah.
No, not necessarily.
Yeah, does it take the utopia to the next level?
But I feel that's more of a weekend activity. I don't want Monday morning bohemian sex clubs. You know what I mean?
We don't want Monday morning no underwear.
That's true.
That's the problem. You don't want to be getting on the tube on the way to work with no underwear.
Yeah.
You don't want to be doing a gig. You don't want to be doing a gig with no underwear.
You're not paying. It's all state funded tube. It's fast. It's clean.
But
it's not clean.
Why? Because
there's no underwear.
Would that permeate?
It will permeate.
Do you think
odors, diseases?
Do you think it would permeate having a city with no underwear? Do you think?
I just think that if you were saying no underwear, something would come in to replace that. Surely.
What? Okay.
If anything, if it's
if it looks like underwear, it probably is underwear.
You can't get past us. Yeah. You can't tie a t-shirt round.
Or put a leaf over there.
That's underwear.
That's still underwear.
That's still underwear.
The government is far too intelligent to realise what's underwear.
You can maybe wear shorts.
Whoa.
Under your trousers.
Really short. Well, that was...
No, that's fucking underwear.
No, because if you could wear shorts without underwear...
One piece of clothing on your bottoms all the time.
Well, this is adding...
Because then we have to define underwear. And if you're wearing shorts, like, have you seen how baggy people's boxers are? No, but if you choose...
Does that mean that if you're only wearing underwear, that's also fine?
That is a loophole in the rule.
Yeah.
Okay. So nothing else?
Yes. And I have to stand by the law. I've said it out as God said it.
There's a Boris Johnson-esque scandal of him breaking his own rules.
Yeah. Look, you've really poked a good hole in that. I think it's that quote about pornography. If it looks like underwear, then and you think it's underwear, it probably is underwear.
What's that quote?
It's about porn. If it looks like pornography, then it probably is pornography. That's the quote.
What quote is that?
This is genuine. It's a big thing. It's
big
like
thing?
when they're trying to. Yeah.
I don't know this.
It's like
it doesn't seem the most profound.
If it looks like because they were trying to
Wait a second, I think I'm really saying something here.
Because it was trying to define what the definition is between like nudity and pornography, or like being quite obscene or something, and when it becomes pornography. And the best definition, the collective minds of the generation
brain trust.
that you two have scoffed at pretty quickly, was that if it looks like pornography, it probably is. And it's like been used several times throughout history.
I guess so, because I guess there's like tasteful.
There's an essence to it.
You can have a tasteful breast.
Yes.
Black and white. Big spread.
Well, you can have a nude
Or
picture,
food.
but then like you can have a nude picture of a woman or a man posing for a painting or something like that, and that you wouldn't really call that pornography, would you?
But
if there's a dildo up there, there's pornography.
That's where the like hardcore Christians come in, right, and just ruin that whole.
Yeah,
because they see it's all pornography.
Exactly, because they haven't worked out their definitions of pornography.
Yeah, so I guess that's the flaw, is that people have different definitions and it's entirely subjective.
Exactly.
But I think that brings us on to the main thing we want to talk about, which is free the nipple on Instagram. Do you?
Okay.
No, totally.
There's a bit of a sideline there. I wasn't even aware of it myself, but I was ready to go into it.
Yeah, you.
What do you think?
Yeah, you have.
What are your thoughts on free the nipple on Instagram?
I said the number 3, the nipple.
Because to be honest, we haven't ever discussed this, and it's like a weird. It was a debate that was raging more like 3-4 years ago, but I want to talk about.
Now it's time to come
I
around
feel
to
like that's probably what took me made me so jolted. Was like, what year are we in?
We're a very 2015 style podcast.
Yeah. What's happening here? What is specifically?
So what I don't quite get about free the nipple is it's a feminist empowerment movement of being like, we should be allowed to get our nips out. Partly because men can get their nips out on Instagram, and censoring it is sort of set. I don't know.
Setting a different, sexualizing the female nipple over like the male nipple.
Yeah, but then for me, I'm like, fair enough, all sounds great, but if you freed the nipple, it would destroy Instagram.
I thought you were going to go a lot bigger than that.
What,
it would destroy society.
Destroy the economy.
And the most sexist view.
Yeah, no, but I mean, all the points stand, but I'm like, then it will just become pornography on there. It will just be a pornos.
Well,
but maybe
I would challenge that. For is it pornography?
I refer to the earlier
quote.
What does it look like?
So what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, yeah, I think people should just probably be able to get their nipples out. I do see what you're saying, but then maybe that's just like, with every kind of change, you have like some weird like peak of madness, and then it just resolves itself.
Okay, so you have like a couple of years of hardcore porn.
Real just porn everywhere, like people really taking it too far, and then eventually everybody will be like, what are we doing?
Come on, guys.
Now
tasteful nitpicks only.
I disagree.
Okay.
With which?
You've been waiting for. He's been building up for this for about 30 seconds. You've been breathing in.
Deep breath, Andrew. I'm getting cramp in my neck. What do you mean rampant pornography would ensue if you could see a nipple?
My point is.
What the fuck does that mean? What a load of shit.
My point is.
What? Just
because the nipple's caged at the moment.
Yeah.
Because we've
You're so sexually repressed, man.
You
are so sexually repressed. Oh, there'll be porn everywhere. Oh my god, if they could show nipples, Instagram would explode with pornography.
Not say that, but
it's what you said it would burn.
You said it would destroy.
Yeah,
you said it would destroy Instagram.
I was going to say I didn't say that to whatever you said. That's exactly what I said. It's exactly what I said. But I do stand by it. It was more like philosophically I get it, but it would kind of just degrade the content of the feed, because there's a lot of porn stars on Instagram anyway.
And what are they doing anyway? They're posting softcore porn just without the nipple. Do you think the inclusion of the nipple means the destruction of Instagram? It would become a
page 3 style thing, wouldn't it?
But that's what's already happening, just son nipple.
Ooh.
That's what's already happening. They just can't see the nips.
That's an interesting society.
Whoever's showing, all the Instagram accounts that are getting scantily clad are still gonna do it anyway,
But even more
if they can't get the
scantily.
nipple. Yeah, but just because it's the inclusion of the nipple.
Yeah,
and
but
you're scared of the nipple.
But what will happen also is that, so you see more like, you're saying there'd be more nipples, so it'd be like more like sexy, but then you have the other side balancing out, which is just normal everyday nipples.
Yeah.
So that will be like,
I'm fully for
It's not
those.
gonna change
but
the
they're
concept.
going to eventually like cross each other out, aren't they?
The women that are making it the women that are making it sexy are going to continue to make it sexy with the nipples, and the women that aren't making it sexy are going to continue to not make it sexy, even if they can show the nipple.
Mm.
The content will stay the same.
All right. Well, I guess it's all conjecture.
It'll never happen.
But if they do it as a referendum, I'd vote for free the nipple just to see. I'd want to see
Well,
what
you
would happen.
can't vote against it, can you? Really? What does that say about you?
Yeah, exactly.
He's already said enough about him.
Exactly. It's said it not. So, fine. You've sold it on me. Let's free the nipple. I'm glad we could finally discuss one of the hot topics.
And if you could all go on Twitter tonight and hashtag free the nipple,
yeah,
just to maintain the movement.
Doing a call.
And first of all, we have a big congratulations to Bookmark Boys.
Oh, so the
she's had a baby.
She's had a baby.
So
but more importantly,
no, it's really sweet.
it is really sweet.
It's a very cute baby. She'll
It's
be
incredibly
listening.
cute
Congratulations.
baby. Congratulations. Salutations.
And you don't get that with the big companies. No. You don't hear about the CEO having a baby. Well, you might, depending on how closely you follow the company. Moving on.
But more importantly,
bookmarks.
Bookmarks. Her actual baby was the bookmark company.
She gave birth to a bookmark.
She gave birth to an ethically sourced, sustainable bookmark company. If you're reading and you want to keep the page, then use the bookmarks.
You're getting lazy.
What? You're not pulling your weight.
Yeah, because you talk over me. Sorry.
Well, go on.
I think Erin's got something to say before we have a domestic.
What am I supposed to do?
let the bookmarks speak. Fine.
Look at the book. What do you feel when you see the bookmarks?
Just make them buy the fucking bookmarks,
please. Buy these bookmarks. These bookmarks are great, and they have pictures on them of people that I recognise.
You do, and everyone will recognise them.
She doesn't know what a flume is, so
even if I know these,
this is the first time Erin's ever seen a bookmark, and she is absolutely.
And I'm pretty pumped for knowing what a book is.
But I'll tell you, Eryn, not all bookmarks are like this.
Yeah,
there's a lot of poor quality, cheap bookmarks out there, unlike these, which are bespoke to a certain extent.
Should we find out what the gang
They're not really bespoke. I keep saying they're bespoke. Let's find out what the gang's talking about. Now we look over there.
You had a philosophical question for us,
right,
Andrew.
It's not really a philosophical question, but it's gonna right. I'm gonna ask you a question that you can see as like a case study, okay? And it's more about it's to do with the
meanders,
rivers. It really doesn't at all. It's about right. So don't focus too much on the question. Although I would like.
I was looking at you.
It's very rude.
Waiting for you to.
It's very rude.
I'm not used to other people.
To other people at this point.
I'm
right.
not used to other people.
So don't focus too much on the question, but what it implies, but also focus on the question, please. Okay?
Yeah.
Do you think there was a person called Alan Wallawitz born in 1992? Now, I'm going to give you guys some time to think about it, because I've asked many people about this, and although it might not be, you might think it's obvious immediately, I have had a vast array of answers to this.
Okay.
Do you think there was a man or woman called Alan Wallawitz born in 1992 in the world?
Do we know Wallawitz is a surname?
Yeah. Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, okay, fine.
What we should do here is, can I get a yes or no from you, please, Eryn, and then a yes or no from Mauricio, and then we'll discuss.
Is this linked to anything?
No.
Or this is just
no. There is
the question.
No, that is absolutely.
Okay, we're
not
just saying out of everybody who was born in the year 1992, do we believe that
an Alan Wallawitz?
An Alan Wallawitz.
Yes.
I'm going to say
yes.
I'm going to say yes as well. Oh, well, okay. I guess the factors at play is Wallawitz is a Jewish surname.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Is that many Jewish... So it's actually not that common as well. There's only 15 million Jews worldwide anyway, so there's not that many Jewish people being born. In the 90s as well, even less. So it's like
he makes up numbers sometimes, but we just have
to... So it's going to be around 12 million Jewish people. There's not that many people being born of them. Alan would have to be in the English speaking world. There's a lot of Jewish people in the English speaking world. So it's probably New York or Britain.
Yeah, my thoughts exactly.
So it's New York or London. Alan.
Alan. Now, is that a Jewish name?
I'm going to actually change my answer and say no, because I do not think there's a Jewish, British or American person called Alan Wallawitz.
Do you think ever?
No, mate, there might be one, but it's very unlikely.
You think ever?
I just don't know. I mean, for our Jewish listeners, please correct us.
Yeah.
I grew up in a mainly Jewish area.
In London.
In London.
Yeah.
But in a very specific postcode where it was like 80% Jewish.
Yeah.
No Alans.
No Alans.
No Alans.
How many?
None of the dads.
How many of your neighbours did you know?
No, not neighbours. School. My school was 80% Jewish. I met the dads.
You didn't meet one Alan.
I didn't meet an Alan. I didn't meet a Jewish Alan.
You know what? I've never met an Alan.
How many Alans do I know?
Have you ever met an Alan?
I know an Alan, I think.
You do know an Alan.
Is he Jewish?
No.
Is it Alan Wallawitz? How old is he?
That would be great.
I was born in 1992.
That's a great philosophical. That is definitely.
So we could now.
It's more of a.
I like because you could change the name, and it's the same because what we're finding because obviously there's going to be an Alan Smith born in 1992.
Yeah,
we'd be confident in that in the UK, and it's semi about finding the right name, and I think Alan Wallawitz is the first attempt at that about finding because I started off as a firm yes. But I think the Jewish thing is a
There's
factor.
actually not that many Jewish people.
So I think maybe keep it English in terms of British, like Alan names, like an Alan surname.
But it have to be, otherwise it would be too regular. So
because because I think a regular first name and a slightly different surname is where you can find the.
Well, another question would be: is there any margarines like the name margarine? Marjorie.
Margarine's a butter.
Yeah.
Or a type of butter. It's not actually butter.
Is there any Marjories? Marjories born in the UK in 2021?
Absolutely. You have to include the second name. Absolutely. Of course there's a Marjorie born in 2021.
Marjorie?
I'd bet everything on that. Everything I have.
What do you think? Would you
I'm
bet everything you have?
I've also made a very similar bet with somebody once.
What, for everything?
Everything I have. Yeah. My
Did you win?
She's got a conservatory.
Yeah, how did she get that?
A lot.
You got to risk it all to get to the conservatory in Manchester.
My boyfriend thinks he could do that scorpion pose where he puts his feet on the back of his head. He's like, if I stretch enough and I just do it every day, I can do it. And I'm like, when you do it,
I'll give you everything.
Do you not believe him?
He could go ahead. He's like, but I could do it. And I'm like, and I will give you everything.
As a reward, or because you're so confident?
I'm so confident
that he can't do it.
Not that he can't.
It's a weird reward to give someone. If you are confident. Oh, he'll do it one day. And as a reward, you can have everything.
I just believe
as a reward,
so much.
Everything is yours.
So I presume he hasn't done it yet.
No.
How often does he try?
No, he never tries.
He never tries.
You knew that.
But he knows that the reward is everything I have.
Yeah.
So you think that
the stakes are high.
Put a bit of effort. Yeah, you put a bit of effort in.
I mean, if you're together, everything you have is kind of like you could borrow some of your stuff back because you've been in a relationship. The problem is if you break up and then he manages to do it.
If you get married, the divorce settlement is not going to look pretty.
Yeah, if he waits till divorce to do the scorpion, and then it's like...
Maybe he's just... Have you considered he's just quietly stretching at home? Every day he takes himself off and he stretches in private, just waiting for you to get married, eventually divorce, and then bam.
He's already checked out this relationship.
In the court, you'll come up with a big argument as to why you should have the house with the conservatory, and he'll get out on the courtroom floor and he'll do the scorpion thing. And you'll have no choice but to give him everything. Yeah. And the
jury's will be like,
the defense rests, and you'll have to walk out there.
The jury.
It would be a fucking bowler move.
Yeah, it would. I would respect that. I would give him everything I had.
Was that your boyfriend yoga story?
Oh, no.
I thought that was weirdly linked. That was weirdly linked.
But it has made me think maybe we shouldn't be going to yoga.
Really?
Just in case, because he's getting stretchier by the day.
True. You've got to keep your eye on him.
Yeah, he was like, maybe we should go to yoga. And I was like, oh yeah, I did that.
He's got claim to everything you have. But do you think Marjorie was born in the UK in what, 2021?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
1,000%, man.
Yeah.
1,000.
So
I've said yes to everything.
You need to do both names.
No, but people being born in a year, I bet it's like 400,000 in the UK, maybe 500,000. How many of those? How many of those are girls?
You just chuck numbers and see what sticks, and it makes it like there was
No.
definitely it's a gut thing. There's definitely a Marjorie born.
It's not a gut thing.
It's a fucking
It's
gut
not a
thing.
gut thing. It's a numbers thing, actually.
How
many
numbers? I don't even know if they're true or not. You know I'm not good with numbers.
Were born. Yeah, he's so bad with numbers. It's insane. How many people were born in the UK?
You don't think there's one Marjorie born in the UK?
2021.
How arrogant are you?
Well, we can probably find out.
No, we can't. How are you going to find a Marjorie? They're like less than 1 year old.
How are you going to find them? They won't have a phone number.
No, because they're birth certificate. You can find out.
How are you going to find out?
I read an article saying that there's no more Nigels being born.
That's probably for the
That
best.
is absolute drivel. Of course there's Nigels being born. Of course there is. Of course there is.
Do you think there's Nigels?
No, if you don't think there's one Nigel born worldwide in the year 2021, then
worldwide for sure.
Worldwide.
Okay,
Because I mean, other countries getting English names, it probably takes like 20 years.
How many?
Lots of people in Singapore have had very like old-fashioned.
Yeah.
Can instead of
Nigel
ask how many?
Oh yeah, I also went to school with a Nigel. So there are Nigels
Nigel
around.
is from Singapore, isn't he?
I'm not 100%.
If you look up how many babies are born per minute in the UK, I think that's that stat would change your mind. And
per minute, how many babies
per minute born in the UK? And if you had the audacity to think
born per minute in the UK,
what's your guess, Aaron? Before, because this could be fun. Because I'm terrible at this.
Absolutely no.
I'm gonna say
babies per minute.
3. 10. You're gonna say 10? Because don't act as like I have any idea about this. I could well be absolutely wrong.
I feel like yours is a minute is how many people die a minute?
Right. We'll get on to that. I'm not sure they're that correlated.
Because then you'll know from karmic resolution.
They'll be exactly the same.
Yeah, it'll probably match up.
Okay, so it says there's 21 born per second in the world.
Please don't, can we not try and work it out? Because this is just exhausting now.
No, but I'm just saying.
How many 21 per second
in the world?
So it's like 250.
We're a very fertile nation.
Yeah,
there's 681,000 babies born in 2020.
What? In the UK?
681,000 babies born in 2020.
Divided by 525,600. That's not a joke. That's how many minutes are on the year. I know that because of the musical Rent. My mum and dad do musicals. It's the whole thing. Divide that by 525,600.
I'm not going to do that.
525,600. Yeah, it's easy. Then we can have the answer. 525,600.
But we're not even getting the answer. Okay,
minutes.
So 680. Sorry about this, Aaron.
So, yeah, this has been a really maths-heavy podcast.
681 divided by
500 and 525,600. 525,600 minutes.
525,000.
I don't actually know what it looks like written down because I've only ever heard it throughout a theatre.
1.3.
Cool. And you don't think 1.3 babies a minute across the UK were called Marjorie? You are so arrogant.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with that.
Okay. Well, we'll never know.
I guess we'll never know. But I do want to hear this boyfriend yoga
let's
story.
get into the yoga.
Sorry for cutting you off. I don't know how that even happened.
With maths.
Yeah.
Well, it was the same conversation. Anyway.
Well, I guess I did mislead you with he likes yoga. I'm not a massive fan, but I would go anyway because it's hot. So you go and you just it's
hot yoga.
It's hot, yeah. So it's like being back home, but cheap.
Wait, can you take us through like the classic session?
Yeah. So, but actually, I'm gonna take you on a different route. I apologize.
That's all right.
No, ignore me.
He wanted. I'll take that back.
Yeah, fuck me. Yeah.
What do I know?
So he wanted to do the hot yoga, and I was like, right, we'll do the hot yoga if we can do this thing that's called Inferno Pilates. Which
just sounds like
it feels in the same genre.
Yeah.
Very intimidating, horrible. And basically, we just went into this Inferno, but it's like hot Pilates. I don't know if you know what Pilates is.
I know.
Did you?
Excuse me. We know what Pilates is.
Well, I did.
You know what Pilates
I didn't know what
is,
it
don't you?
was.
I have a rough idea of it.
Do you not know what Pilates is?
I know what it is, but I'm not. I did AS level PE.
It's 40-year-old women bouncing on the balls.
Oh, that's not what.
That's
we did.
not Pilates.
That is Pilates.
That's not Pilates.
I think it's. I don't think anybody really knows what it
Pilates
is.
is more like. So yoga's more stationary. Pilates is more movement.
It's more exercise and less spiritual.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, yeah.
No, you.
There were no balls. Though.
No, I got a yeah. So don't.
It's not
don't
really.
give me a no. I
It's
just
not
got a
really.
yeah.
You can get like Pilates. It's not that
My mum
spiritual.
does Pilates all the time.
Well, you don't talk to her enough because you have
do,
no idea
yeah,
what it
right.
is.
Well, they don't bring up things I'm insecure about. Like
Pilates.
No, not talking to my mum.
I thought you meant you guys don't bring up things you're insecure about. Did you go to Pilates once? I just spot it. Sorry.
But yeah, Pilates is apparently very good for you though.
So and it was Inferno, so I was like, this sounds.
What makes it an inferno?
It's warm.
Is that it?
That's it. Yeah.
It's just hot
They
in
Inferno.
Yeah, they weren't really like, let's go super hard on what we're going to call this.
Confession time. Up until about 15 seconds ago, I thought like hot yoga was like a couples thing that you go to like spice it up a bit.
Really?
Like
Genuinely?
you did it there, like sex position yoga, rather than it just being hot in the room.
Oh, you thought it was another way to say sexy yoga.
That's exactly what I thought, Eryn. Yeah.
So did you never said that's weird that they do that? You're like, oh, it obviously makes sense. Yeah, well, obviously someone will be doing hot yoga, obviously.
So the benefit, you just sweat more, and that's better for, I guess, weight loss? But that's not really the point of yoga.
No, I think
You're shedding a lot.
You're shedding a lot.
Yeah.
Well, the guy who came up with it, did you watch the documentary? This is what my boyfriend just really quite likes this stuff. It's Bikram.
Was he Indian?
He's the cult leader.
The guy who's touched
Bikram.
Bikram yoga, but they had to change it to hot yoga because it was like, oh, you just
so Bikram came up with hot yoga.
Yeah. And then,
wasn't he a bit of a sex pest?
That's probably where you're getting some of your. Yeah, so it was not far off. I mean, you're making sweaty yoga. Like, that is pretty sex pesty, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah. And I think he would just like sit there with like a fan and drink really cold water at the front of the class.
Yeah.
There's a documentary.
Bikram.
You guys should.
Really?
Yeah.
So everyone's saying this is really hot, and he's like, he's cold.
Yeah, he just was like sat there. Yeah.
Well, I guess he's not participating in the yoga necessarily, and the joy of the hot yoga is for that. Can we just? Sorry, how what do you get out of hot yoga?
I don't.
Have you done cold yoga, if I may refer it to as such?
No, I've not done cold yoga. I've not done regular yoga.
Yeah.
I'm not very massively into it, but I have gone a few times now.
Yeah.
And you stretch, and it's warm.
Is it peaceful? Yeah.
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 Yeah. Well, there's episodes that like slide down and relax, and then I'm just feeling very stressed out because somebody's asked me to relax. I'm like, you can't tell me what to do.
Yeah. And then your mind starts racing.
Yeah.
Don't think of things that aren't relaxing. You're like,
volcanoes,
Pilates.
Yeah. But I think
just
you
so
get
much
into
movement
it.
involved.
Anyway, my Pilates story was there's gonna be no payoff for this. But I went to Inferno Pilates, which is very intimidating sounding, and the instructor walked in, and she was quite muscular, so she was quite intimidating. But she said, "Hi, I'm Donna," and we were like, "Oh, sweet Donna." And then she said, "I'm Donna."
Did you say that?
No, I was thinking it.
Okay.
I was like, "Oh, thank
You
God."
didn't all.
We were all together.
Oh, sweet Donna.
Please give us your life, this daily bread.
If I was the instructor, I'd walk out the class at that point. What the fuck
Strangers
is happening?
in tandem.
Sweet Donna is here.
Sorry.
No, we didn't do that.
Okay.
I just thought it because it was this is very intimidating. Oh, but it's fine because sweet Donna is here. But then she said, some people call me Donna the Destroyer.
Oh.
You're back again.
And
at
this point, you have no idea what to think.
Yeah. But I think that's a pretty great way to walk into a room and just introduce yourself.
It depends how you do it.
Yeah.
How did she, what kind of tone did she do it in?
Well, she went, I'm Donna. Some people call me Donna the Destroyer.
Oh, so she did it with
She did it
comedic.
A pinch of salt.
Yeah.
Donna the Destroyer. It's not like, hey, my name's Donna. People call me Donna the Destroyer. If you want to get your mats out.
No, it just was. It was like
That'll be weird.
This is how she introduces.
Hey guys. So yeah, my name's Donna the Destroyer. If you just want to get your mats out, we'll just start getting straight down to the yoga. Yeah. Cool. That would suck.
Getting the mats out. What the fuck did she mean by that?
I mean, that was a little bit what it was like.
Yeah.
It was pretty much so.
Because she said it so many times.
She just said it obviously said it so many times. And that's just how she's going about introducing herself. But, yeah. The whole time building up to it, it was weird because the whole time building up to it, we were saying, like, oh, we're going to get destroyed by this. Like,
by Donna.
We're absolutely going to get destroyed.
That's the name.
And then she walked in and said, I'm Donna the Destroyer. And I was like, did we just manifest...
You did. You manifested Donna. Donna comes to those in need of destruction.
Yeah. This whole time we've been going, we're going to be destroyed. And she just came in and was like, yes.
I'm here.
Yes, you
I'm here.
Rapture.
Yeah.
What does she look like? I've got a very particular picture of Donna.
A refrigeration unit.
Yeah, she, like, there were muscles.
You always have to add something like that in. And then people, they go, yeah, and they're like, I don't want to be rude, I guess. Is she a fridge? Yeah. Does she? No, this is Inferno yoga, not refrigeration yoga. Yeah, no.
That's good.
Yeah. So Donna's in.
Yeah.
What does she look like?
A refrigerator. It's like he's not listening.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
This is what we look alike. We're on the same way. Like, you're just not getting it. She looked like a fucking fridge, mate. She looked like a fridge freezer. If we want to be specific, she looked like a fridge freezer with an ice dispenser.
Like a fridge. So apologies. Yes, Donna the Fridge Destroyer.
Yeah, that was it. My main story is just that she exists, and I think that's amazing.
Is that the story?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no. How was the session? Was there nothing?
I mean, I couldn't feel my legs for like 3 days.
Would you say you were destroyed by Donna?
I was completely destroyed. Yeah.
Okay.
I was in a lot of pain.
So
I didn't even do everything that she said to do. I just sat down.
So this is Inferno Pilates rather than hot yoga.
Yeah.
And would you say you've done both, right?
I would. Yeah.
What would you say is the more intense? Because it sounds like from the name we're thinking Inferno Pilates, but
Inferno Pilates.
Inferno
Pilates.
Pilates.
Yeah, definitely.
Would you ever consider doing Inferno Pilates?
Thanks for asking me, Andrew.
Pleasure to talk to you, Rachel.
I've actually been invited with hot yoga with my cousin, who's a doctor. But
it's weird. That's something you shouldn't do with your cousin.
I've heard.
Yeah, but hot yoga isn't fucking, so it's not. It isn't weird.
I'm still not convinced.
Is it weird to do with people you're not in a sexual relationship with?
No, you're not really near each other.
Yeah.
That's what they want you to believe.
Are you still in your head?
You
still think of
something?
No, I know what that is.
He thinks there's a happy ending at the end. He just thinks there's Donna the Destroyer goes
No, I
around.
think it's to build up an intimacy with your partner through various yoga positions. Maybe it's also warm in the room.
I think in your head you've seen it like a birthing class style thing.
You're right.
That's what you've seen it as.
Yeah.
You've conflated the two.
Yeah.
As to be like trying to get out of like a sexless marriage and trying. But
to help a sexless marriage.
But there were doctors.
But then you can have like sex therapy, which is I think was what I'm thinking of.
Isn't that therapy about sex as opposed to?
No, but you can have like group sex therapy.
What, does the guy wear athleisure? Don't tell me the person who does it wears athleisure.
No,
he doesn't wear athleisure.
No, mostly she will wear like a long robe. Maybe not like a robe, like a hippie. She'll have flowers in her hair, and she'll say, "Embrace your partner's pelvis."
Yeah. I'd actually much prefer it to be pretentious. You don't want a sex therapist wearing athleisure, the night top. Yeah, you don't. That's too.
Yes,
we've taken that's way more pretentious. I think.
I completely agree.
Like clacking around and having incense.
Insects.
Yeah,
maybe.
You know, so.
But back to you're going with your cousin.
No, I wasn't going. I was asked to go with my cousin.
Which cousin? George.
No, not George. Don't. My cousin who's a doctor who has a kid, and they wanted to go at 7 a.m, and I was like, all of this is I'm not nowhere near you in life or lifestyle. We're not on the same.
When did they ask you
We're
this?
different. When I visited them in Cornwall.
Oh, okay. It was a Cornwall thing.
It was a Cornwall thing.
Anything happens there.
Anything goes there. So I said no, and I got up 5 hours later than them. So I'm still waiting for my first hot yoga thing, but I wouldn't be against it because I'm a very...
We could go. We could review it.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. For sure.
Do they just have these in Manchester, or do they also do them in London?
It's not just a Manchester thing.
Conservatories and hot yoga is
You can do it in a conservatory during the sun.
What, hot yoga?
Yeah,
bloody hell! They always, all the podcast managers come round full circle in some accidental
it's almost like we
way.
wrote all of it. It's almost like we wrote all of it.
You know that we didn't write that. You know we didn't. Stop trying to rain on my parade.
No, we wrote all of it.
Oh, every single. Even the stuff I'm saying now.
Erin's been here for hours.
Yeah.
We've been working out
the exact
script and running it.
Even this bit. Even this bit right now.
My line for this bit now.
This is
you
it.
said it, yeah.
So,
Delivered perfectly.
Smashed it.
We're smashing it now. We have not missed a single word. And we're still not missing one now.
Not at all. Admittedly, I think we probably could have been more creative with
some of the writing.
Eryn is a hair model. Do you know that? Eryn is a professional hair model.
No, of course I don't know. That's fantastic.
That's
how
day job.
Do you get into hair? That's your day job.
That's fantastic.
It is fantastic.
No, it is. It is.
I appreciate that.
How do you get into hair modelling other than having lovely hair?
I answered an ad once. You know Star Now? It's like a casting website.
No.
There's like loads of casting websites, and I answered one that said like get a haircut and get paid.
Yeah.
And I was like, this deal
sounds like me.
Very
Your
good.
hair's all over the place.
Yeah. And then I did that, and then I just kind of accidentally like spiraled into actually having that as my job. Yeah.
Like an addiction.
Yeah.
You spiral into hair modelling. People spiral into hair modelling.
Yeah, you just trip and then suddenly, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I'm getting
It's a dark spiral.
It's a stark realisation. So what is the day in the life of a hair modeler? And obviously I mean like when you're modelling hair.
Okay, so not
mostly
not
what happens
admin.
Not the admin involved. Not like I don't want to hear about you shampooing.
Yeah.
What's a classic hair modelling gig like?
Well, you agree beforehand, you know, everything, the fee, the day, the time.
So you arrange the time to meet them.
Yeah.
Rather than just wandering out into the streets and hoping you come across the guy who's booked you.
You got to make sure you're going to go to the same place.
That's really important.
I forgot about that.
I know this. That's really important.
Yeah. Time and place is really important in hair modelling.
Not one, both.
But two.
This is very specific to hair modelling, so let me know if you can't keep up with it.
If any lingo comes up,
we'll have probably a lot of jobs.
You might have to explain time and space to us at one point. Yeah.
Just let me know. You would decide on what the hair cut and colour are going to be, and then you get there, and then they just do something completely different.
Yeah.
And then you go, what the fuck did you do to my hair? And then they go, oh, this is how much we pay you, but then that's it. But usually you do it's split up between doing shoots or shows.
Yeah.
Oh, shows. What's a hair model show? Well, it won't be a show just for hair models.
What happened?
You know what?
No,
I don't know anything about the industry, so I'm gonna.
It's like a conveyor belt, and
in one of those sushi restaurants.
Yeah, but it's the heads of the hair models are being clung by a small metal thing this, and it's around, and then their heads are moving round like a yo sushi.
Like a yo sushi.
And
well, maybe they come up.
Bots, but you just see the hair.
Or just they're underneath the conveyor belt.
Running.
I was asleep and I corrected it.
No. I was suggesting.
No. Running.
So are they running under it?
No.
Sorry, go on.
No. They can kneel under it, and there's two conveyor belts, right?
Yeah.
The top one has a neck-sized hole in which the hair model can then get in, and they put their knees on the conveyor belt that's running at the same time as the one below, and then it's like you're showcasing a head, like a perverse yo sushi. Is that right?
Yeah.
It's like you researched before you to ask me.
But I mean, as a avant-garde fashion show, that is quite an interesting concept.
I mean, somebody probably would
definitely.
do something
I've seen
like
some
that.
shit like
They're
that.
pretty nuts, yeah.
But it doesn't feel as very respectful to the models.
Yeah.
No.
Having their heads on a conveyor belt. But it is funny.
Well, or you could do the thing where you're in a posh, in room service when they've got the cover over the food, and then the punters. I'm not sure what they call people in fashion shows.
Do you want to take a punt?
Punters.
Do you want to take a punt on this?
The punters come and they can then open and go, "Oh, wow, what lovely hair," and then put it back on for the next. Is there anything like this? And do you need some innovation in the
We
industry?
do have heads and hair, so that's a lot like it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Check. No yo sushi type deal.
No real conveyor belt. Although I have been on a rotating stage that comes like out of the floor before.
No shit.
So that's kind of.
Are you only? Is there like osmosis between hand models, feet models, belly button models?
Is there like a club
We don't
or
really
a pub that you all go to?
paths, no, because they're very different.
Ever since the internet.
So would you say you hate each other?
Is there a lot of gang war? Yeah, there's tough.
Oh, it's the feet people. Get away from here, hair people. This is our turf. And so forth.
Yeah. It's a lot like that.
So what kind of? I'm interested in the live shows. What?
Yeah.
Do you like walk down a catwalk, or is it like?
Yeah. So it's kind of like that. Although. Yeah, it's kind of like that, but more choreographed. So
You're also a face model. Sorry to say, you're also a head and face model as well.
A head and face.
Yeah, your head and
you make it sound so flattering.
No, but this is adding. You're not only a hair model. You're a head and face model.
Oh, it's in the whole.
They want the head.
Yeah, they don't just cover the face and just put.
Because it's not like you could have the same hair and then completely the wrong face, completely messed up.
Yeah, everything.
The head
has
and
to
the
go
head
together.
is you're a head model. Really.
I'm basically a head model.
Yeah, okay, I thought so.
Yeah.
But it's the onus on the hair.
But it's more the hair than the face.
But without the face.
Because
I need to understand what's happening now. Because we've
She's a head model. Let's be real. She's a head model.
But a face model would be called a beauty model. That's what they would advertise, like makeup and.
So what kind of
stuff like that?
So
there is a differentiation.
Like this, kind of like.
But like the
Behind
classics. I do actually have a few photos of the back of my head. They're like each hour, like, all right, that's fine. I just sat in the makeup chair for 2 hours and then I just twist around.
But so are you doing these for like
dresses?
Hairdressers?
Yes.
Nikki Campbell, perhaps. Is that a hairdresser? Is that a famous hairdresser? Because
I'm not in big hair.
I think it's the bloke, which is something. Because I haven't heard that name in years.
Yeah, so they all have competitions.
We have a very long, confusing history, me and Nikki Campbell. You haven't modelled for him, have you? I haven't heard that name in years. Hairdressers, maybe hair dye, hair Tresemme.
Clippers. I've been in an ad for hair clippers.
Yeah, so have you done TV ads as well?
That one is social media for the hair clippers.
Which hair clippers?
Remington.
I
know Remington.
Yeah? Handy clipper?
Yeah. No, I don't know the clippers. I've heard the word. Is it weird though? What I've always wondered is it's like it feels like a very sincere job in some ways, in the sense that you're walking. It seems to be in some ways the opposite of stand-up comedy, because when your act, and then I see photos of you. You're a great model. It looks great, but the stand-up is so
Please continue.
Because you're trying to make.
I'm trying to do it discreet.
You're trying to do it discreetly, but somehow it was less discreet.
Why? Because I was just bending over.
Because you turned around.
Sorry.
Completely.
Apologies. Please continue.
During a really authentic moment.
Please continue. I don't know. I'm so interested in this hair modelling. I don't want to disturb.
Is it weird when you do like a serious runway? You got the pout, or you've done the shoots and that, and then you're on stage doing. Ooh, or whatever you do these days.
Comedy.
No, I do know exactly what you mean, and that's how I imagine hair modelling to occur.
No, that's the stand-up.
See, that's the flip.
You weren't listening.
Sorry, I wasn't here. Everything goes over my head.
You just wanted to do the noise. So
I did. It looked quite fun. So.
Yeah, I know what you guys. Woo. I actually believe that there are very many parallels between the two, because both of them you have to kind of shake your inhibitions off and not really care what people think. It's just done in a different way. So it's like you're being authentically like your silly self, and then that way you're just doing like, I don't know, because you do feel like it. I think most people, if you were like be a model and do some poses, you'd feel like an idiot.
Mm.
Oh, sorry.
That's fine.
Don't touch him after saying you feel like an idiot. That's the
why
worst side to
why
touch.
does this happen with every single guest?
Hit a nerve.
They'll be looking at Horatio and they'll be like, yeah, so you might, feel like an idiot.
I accidentally grazed your knee and then I had to...
Perhaps, as this gentleman who's sitting right next to me here,
If you're a moron.
if you're perhaps
I don't want to...
a stupid person, like so, exhibit A.
I don't want to trigger you with phrases you
No,
might have
I've
said to you
been
before.
trod down into the
mentally
mud
tough.
enough
He's very
now.
mentally
Yeah.
What was I saying?
You were talking
Something
about
about an idiot or a moron, stupid person.
No, you're talking about how similar stand-up and modelling was, and
Yeah.
how it's quite similar.
Losing your
so
inhibitions.
lots of people can't do it because they feel silly, but that's what you get on stage with stand-up, and lots of people can't do it because you feel silly.
Yeah.
Is sincerity
So
not
it's
the
that
ultimate
same-
form
yeah.
of comedy?
So the thing,
No.
If you became a hair model and
Slapstick is.
if you walked down sincerely, if you
Puns.
walked, oh for God's sake,
Satire.
if you became a hair model, would you not peak in your stand-up career if you became a hair model and walked down the runway? Would that not be your crowning achievement as a stand-up?
It would be such a subtle. My facial expression. The difference between it making my stand-up career and ending it is within a twitch of the mouth.
Correct.
It was so subtle, like the line between me fucking it as a stand-up and my career launching off.
I feel like you're not answering my question.
Well, yeah, I'm saying yes, but I have
Yes.
to play it
Well, no, because
It
it's
would take a
playing
lot
it
of-
completely sincerely.
completely sincerely, but there'd have to be just the slightest glint. And if that disappears,
Ooh.
do you know what I mean?
No, I don't think. I think the slightest glint ruins it. You can't go down there and go, whoops.
No, that's not-
so silly.
That's not the slightest glint.
Well,
if you're going, oh,
You walk down there with
I'm
supreme
so
confidence that my hair looks great, and there's your comedy. You need full sincerity.
but I think the over sincerity is the glint. Like actual sincere people don't read as like.
But you can't go too over.
You can't, yeah.
Otherwise, you're like Ben Stiller. What's that film?
Zoolander.
Zoolander.
That's what I'm thinking. So
Yeah.
I think you'd be great walking down a cut.
I think I would.
You'd smash the runway.
Yes.
I'm dyspraxic, so I don't have the walk down.
You'd fall off the
Yeah. Well, a friend of ours is really dyspraxic, and he looks like a model. He got to the final 3 for Tom Ford, but he walks.
Oh yeah.
He literally walks
bad.
like this.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
so,
he lands.
That's a real shame.
He bounces off from his tiptoes.
he's super
Yeah,
dyspraxic.
I know. So it's like
Every
every
time.
leg is
Like
a
every
leg.
leg.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd never be able to do it. How's your walk? You got a good walk down?
No.
No.
Well, I'm not very good at walking in heels, and they pretty much always put you in heels.
Does that bump up the hair?
I think it just.
Cut this in. But anyway, thank you very much for coming on the show, Eryn.
Thank you very much.
Is there anywhere people can find you?
Thank you very much. Yes.
Other
Where
than
do you live?
In a
Home address.
conservatory in Manchester.
13 Viking Close.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yes.
Because we've played around with that enough, and it's not a good idea.
It's not a good idea.
It's not
We've
fun.
had people, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's somewhere I don't live. At Eryn Tett Comedy is my usual one.
Great.
Yeah.
Any
It's
shows
on
coming
YouTube.
But
up?
actually, Eryn Tett is like it is with the Y and the TETT. I was going to say actually, I know this is supposed to be a roundup,
No, it's fine.
but I believe that I am the only Eryn Tett born in 1992. So
Yeah,
sort
mate.
of
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
So we should, with my name.
Eryn Tett, because it's so rare to have it with a Y.
Yeah, and Tett is like very not.
Adam Aaron Green's the only Adam Aaron Green in the world.
How do you know?
Because he knows, he told me.
How
There's
do
no
you know?
Aaron Green, a double-barreled surname. Then you're getting into crazy
Oh,
shit.
yeah,
Aaron
yeah,
Green.
you gotta
Green,
Aaron.
sure. Aaron Green.
Aaron.
Adam Aaron Green. You're never going to find him.
Literally. Thank you very much for listening. Subscribe to the Patreon for another episode with Eryn. Stay swanky and
Keep us safe.
yeah, thanks very much.